네, 안녕하세요. 코치텐입니다. 기억영어 스노우볼 챌린지 37번째 도전입니다. 네, 도전해볼게요. 바로 갑니다. 네, 오늘의 단어를 보면 5개인데 농구장에 있는 5개입니다. 어떻게 되냐면 농구 코트, 코치님, 선수들, 농구공, 농구 골대 이렇게 5개입니다. 그러면 오늘 거 먼저 하고 그 다음에 이어가겠습니다. 자, 준비, 할 말 떠올리고요. 준비, go. I get onto the basketball court. I do warm up, I do some stretching, and I play basketball with my friends. There is a coach on the basketball court. I go to the coach, I say hello to the coach, I listen to his advice. There are some players on the court. I go to the players, I say hello to them, I play basketball with them. I pick up a ball and I use the ball. I pass the ball to my friends. I receive the ball from my friends. And I practice dribbling. I go to the basketball hoop near the low post. I practice jump shot. I practice layup. And I practice pivot. 된 것 같은데요? 다 나온 것 같고요. 자, 그러면 학교 교실부터 여기 농구장, 농구공까지 쭉 가보겠습니다. 자, 바로 갑니다. 준비, 할 말 떠올리고. 준비, go. I get into the classroom. I go to the desk. I sit down at the desk. I get ready for the class. I open my backpack. I take out a textbook. I open the textbook. I read the textbook. I close the textbook. I pick up a pencil out of my pencil case. I use the pencil. I draw a mind map. I put it back into the pencil case. I pick up a notebook. I open the notebook. I take notes. I close the notebook. There's a friend standing next to the locker. I look at my friends. I say hello to my friends. I have small talk with my friends. I go to the locker, open the locker. I put my backpack into the locker. I close the locker. I pick up my backpack. I put my backpack into the locker. I take out my backpack from the locker. I put my backpack over my shoulder. There's a teacher standing at the whiteboard. I look at the teacher. I say hello to the teacher. I have small talk with him. And I go to the whiteboard. I stand in front of the whiteboard. I pick up a marker. I draw a mind map. I write down on the whiteboard. I erase the whiteboard. I pick up a marker. I use the marker. I draw a mind map. I write down on the whiteboard. I go to the library. I stand at the main entrance of the library. I wait for my friends at the main entrance of the library. I meet my friends there. I get into the library. I go to the information desk. I take out my membership card. I scan my membership card. There are some steps there. I look at the steps. I say hello to them. I have small talks with them. I take out my membership card. I use my membership card. I tap my membership card on the card reader. I walk through the library. I walk through the gate, and I get into the library. I go to the return desk. I open my backpack. I take out the books. I return the books. There's a free Wi-Fi zone in the hall of the library. I pick up my phone. I look for a free Wi-Fi. I connect into the free Wi-Fi. I feel thirsty. I go to the vending machine. I put some coins into the slot. I press the button. I take out a soda. There's a big speakers in the hall of the library. I listen to some music. Sometimes I hear an announcement. I go to the sofa. I sit down on the sofa. There are some sofas in the hall of the library. I sit down on the sofa. I take a rest. I pick up my phone. I watch YouTube on my phone. there are some stacks on the first floor, so I walk up the steps to the first floor. I get into the stacks. I take a look around. There are so many books in the bookshelves. I go to the section for the psychologists. I pick up a book about the psychologists. I look through the books. I bring it to the table. I sit down at the table. I open the book. I read the book. I close the book. I get into the mini stores. I take a look around. I go to the counter. I get in line. It's my turn. I pay for it. I put all stops on the counter, and I take out my credit card. I look at the steps. I say hello to the steps. I pay for it. I take out my credit card. I use my credit card. I pay for it by my credit card. I put it back into my wallet. I take a look around. I pick up a sandwich. I buy a sandwich. I eat some sandwich. I take a look around. I pick up a soda. I buy a soda. I drink a soda. I take a look around. I pick up some snacks. I buy some snacks. I eat some snacks. I go to the sofa. I sit down on the sofa. I take a rest on the sofa with some snacks. There's a table in front of the sofa. I use the table. I put some snacks on the table. There's some napkins, tissues on the table. I pick up a tissue. I use the tissue. I wipe my mouth with the tissue. I wipe the table. I pick up the trash. I go to the trash basket. I open the trash basket. I throw the trash into the trash basket. I close the trash basket. And I go to the main entrance of the basketball gym. I open the main gate. I get into the basketball gym. I close the main gate. I wait for my friends. There is a big shoe rack next to the basketball main gate. I go to the shoe rack and I take off my shoes. I put my shoes on the shoe rack. There are so many basketball shoes there. I take a look around. I pick up my basketball shoes. I change into my basketball shoes. I put on my basketball shoes. I get into the basketball court and I do warm up. I do some stretching and I play basketball with my friends. There's a coach on the court. I go to the coach. I say hello to the coach. I listen to his advice. There are some players on the court. I go there. I go to them and I say hello to them. I play basketball with them. I pick up a ball. I use the ball. I practice dribbling. I pass the ball to my friends. I receive the ball from my friends. And I get into the low post at the basketball hoop. And I practice layup. I practice jump shot. And I practice pivot. 됐죠? 잘 나온 것 같습니다. 다 나왔고요. 네, 잘 나왔습니다.